Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a fantastic week. In today's video, I wanted to share with you 7 reasons why having a pet conure might not be right for you. They are fantastic little birds full of personality, but they are not the right pet for everybody. So I wanted to share some of the reasons why a pet conure might not be the right choice for you. Now the first reason is conures are very noisy. You may have seen things online about green cheeks being quiet and happy and all that kind of stuff and just making talking noises, but let me tell you, they are an exceptionally noisy type of bird. We also have a crimson bellied conure and everything online shows that they are super quiet, and he is our noisiest bird. So if you have thin walls or you live in an apartment block or something like that, you may have to reconsider whether conures are the right pet for you. And conures are also exceptionally noisy for their size. So the Nande conure, which is a type of slightly larger conure than the green cheek, actually produces sounds at about 155 decibels. Now this is comparable and also the same amount of noise as a jet engine from a Boeing 747. So you can imagine how loud that is and compare that to a Nande conure. That is a level of noise that's going to damage your hearing. So it's not always the best idea to have conures if you perhaps value your hearing. I have tinnitus after working with birds for such a long time, so that's something to take into consideration. Conures are also exceptionally messy. They love to make mess with their food. It will be all up your walls and all over the floor. There'll be feathers and feather dust everywhere, toy pieces as well. Your house will be covered in mess, so you'll have to be doing cleaning all the time. So if you like cleaning, maybe conures are a good pet for you, but there will be lots of mess. And the one bit of mess that's going to come every single day are bird poops. Now birds typically poop around once every 15 minutes, and if you're thinking about conures being awake for about a 12-hour day, which is ideal for them, then there's going to be a lot of poops, about 50 poops from a bird up to each day, and we have 7 birds, so you can only imagine the amount of poops that we have here. So you're going to be cleaning and sweeping and mopping and hoovering all day long, so you know, just bear that in mind, that there is going to be an exceptional amount of cleaning to keep the home environment very nice and clean for you and your birds. Conures are also a very expensive type of pet. Now you may see, if you look at breeders and you think, oh, that's quite an affordable price, or you see an adoption fee at a rescue and you may think, yeah, that's fine, I can cope with that. They look quite cheap, but that doesn't take into consideration everything else you're going to have to buy for them, whether that's new toys, perches, cages, air purifiers, bowls, food, you know, dry food, wet food. There's just so many different things. Travel carriers, vet bills as well. Vet bills are exceptionally expensive for parrots because they are specialists. You have to go and see a specialist avian vet, and that always costs more money. Insurance, harnesses, anything you could possibly think of is going to add into that price, and it is going to be ongoing for their entire lives. So there's going to be lots of expenses, so you need to make sure that you have that financial commitment to look after your birds. Now, as well as all these undesirable things I've already spoken about, conures are naturally a more nippy kind of species. They do explore with their beak, and they do kind of mlem things with their beak. So if you're a bit nervous about being bitten and that kind of stuff, then again, parrots might not be the right pet for you because their bites do hurt, and your parrot shouldn't be biting you aggressively really regularly because that indicates that there's like a behavioural problem or a bonding issue there. But sometimes you will accidentally get nipped, or they may just, you know, try and get onto your hand a bit too hard and use their beak a bit too hard. So that's something to bear in mind. You will probably get bitten. I don't know any parrot owner who hasn't been bitten. It does hurt, but they do like to explore with their beak, and they are more of a nippy species in comparison to something like a budgie or a cockatiel. You need to be aware of when considering a conure as a pet is they live for a very long time, which is awesome because you get to spend lots of time with your feathered companion. However, it does mean they are a huge commitment. Typically conures will live for about 25 years, but they can live into their 30s as well. So again, fantastic that you can spend all that time with your pet bird, but that's a huge commitment, and you have to take into consideration school, college, university, work, where you're going to live, and if they're going to allow pets. If you want to go and travel the world, you're not going to be able to take your bird with you. If you want to start a family, you know, different career aspects will have different commitments as well. So there's lots of different things to think about. And you know, while you may be in a position to have a conure now and it seems all great, you also need to sort of plan for the future as well and understand what's going to happen with your bird, because they are a commitment, and when you bring them into your home, you are promising them that you're going to keep them safe, happy and healthy for their entire life. So that is something to bear in mind, that they do live for a very long time. Conures are also an exceptionally social species, so they need to have companionship. Whether that's from you or if it's from another bird or that kind of thing, they do need to have companionship every single day. And in my personal opinion, it is much better to have a companion of the same species, because then they can communicate in the same way and they can understand each other's body language and vocalizations. And that is so important in meeting their social needs. That's not to say that a single bird can't be happy. They absolutely can. I've seen that before. But I think if you really want to give your bird everything and, you know, meet all of their social needs, I think having a companion for them is really beneficial. And it's also worth bearing in mind that if you did get a second conure, they may not get along, but again, they will still find that social need from having another bird in the same room, let alone in the same cage. So bear that in mind, that having more than one conure is usually a good thing, but also it can be a negative as well, because you come with the extra cost and mess and noise and everything like that. But they are a very social bird. They can't just be left on their own for hours on end, because they need to have that companionship. It makes them feel nice and safe and happy. Reason why a conure might not be the right pet for you is because they are a very complex pet. They are not starter birds, beginner pets, anything like that. They are exceptionally complex, and I think a lot of people don't give them enough credit for that. You know, they are exceptionally emotionally intelligent and smart, and they can learn things really easily. And you know, there's just so many wonderful aspects to them. But they are not domesticated. They're not used to living in human homes and that kind of things. They don't always do as well, and there are just lots of different things that you need to consider. You know, they have to be mentally and physically stimulated every day with exercise and training and toys and foraging. There's so many different things, and you know, for someone who maybe loves birds like myself, that's awesome, and I love spending my day doing that. But if you find that kind of thing a chore, and you know, having to look after something every single day and making sure they've got everything they need, then that can be a real challenge, and maybe conures aren't the right pet for you. And that's okay if they're not the right pet for you. It's good to do lots and lots of research, because you need to know what they're like before you bring one home, so they're not going off into rescues, because parrots are the #1 most rehomed type of animal in the world. You'll get lots of rehomed dogs and cats and things like that, but parrots are almost always rehomed or passed to somebody else because they're very difficult to live with. So do make sure, even if conure isn't the right pet for you, that you're doing lots and lots of research for the pet species you want, so you know what they're going to be like when you bring them home. Or at least you've got an idea of the noise level and the complexity of them, and you can get set up for success. And I have a whole conure care playlist on my channel, so if you'd like to know more about our conures and things like that, then go and watch those videos too. There's lots of different things for you to enjoy. But that does bring me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed learning about maybe why conures aren't the right pet for you, or if you have conures, I would love to hear about them down in the comments, because they are bundles of fun, but they do take up a lot of time, effort and money as well. So they're good fun. Pickles has just been absolutely loving being in my hair for this video. Scampi's playing with David. Olive's just bobbing in the corner because she wants attention, and Louie and Kipling are behaving for a change, which is unusual, very suspicious. But yeah, it does bring me to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for watching, and again, I'd love to hear about your conures or your thoughts on conures down in the comments. But in the meantime, take care and see you later.